How is it going, everybody? I am Jamie from the Bead Gallery, and let's see, hang on one second. I'm going to just make sure that my it's working. All right, it is working. So I am practicing tonight on a new format, and I haven't come on and talked about gemstones and the energy of gemstones in such a long time. When COVID first started, I had a whole setup at home and things changed. We moved into a studio, we went to the store, and the next thing you know, I lost my entire studio at home and I made myself back at the store. Hi, everybody. If you are joining me, and I won't be able to see excuse me, your comments as you have with this new format. If you can click on the streamyard.com/Facebook, it's going to allow me to see your name. And it's just the way that StreamYard and the Bead Gallery Ohana is hooked up. So if I was on the regular page, I'd be able to see you. But if you don't mind and you're hanging out and you want to ask a question, definitely just click on that link that's on the top in the comments. And I think it says facebook.com. And hi, Mike. Oh, that's interesting. I can't see you in StreamYard, but I can see you on my phone. So I will keep my phone right here and I can see who's here and you don't even have to click any buttons. How's that? Hi, Kara. Hi, Gail. So one thing I really love to do is talk about gemstones. And I'm going to put it up close. Oh, so I think what is happening is as I play around this, oh, I know it. Waffles is coming in to attack me right now. She's like, she was such a great help during COVID. She would always come to every live and sit behind me. And I didn't even clean my room. So it's a kind of a mess behind me, but that's okay. I want to show you this bracelet. So I have to turn off this fake background. So now you get to see my office and what I'm working on. I have like some camera equipment behind me, but you know what? I will try to wow you with my bracelet so you don't even take note of what's going on back there. Laura Belkin, good night, my friend. Did I package those fun charms for the Green Girls Charms bracelets? Well, it's turning out to be quite a process to get the charms together. I had to find a supplier for the paints, and then I had to get Cynthia hooked up because she knows them. And she's going to be getting the paints done just for her in a color palette of the primary colors, and she's going to teach us how to mix it. And then I had to go and order brushes. And you guys, I know it seems like, oh, this is late night like chit chat, right? When we first pivoted, everyone's like, make kits. I was like, okay. Now we have friends that come and help us, and then they make kits, and they're like, holy camoles. Making kits is unbelievably challenging. It is. You can't make mistakes on what you're putting in there. There's so many bags and so much counting, and you have to stay focused. So anyhow, kind of like this project, this journey I want to take you on. Let's call it Jamie's Painting Journey. And I'm going to make it about me because I actually am doing that whole project for me. I've always wanted to paint Andrew's wood charms. I've always wanted to paint Cynthia's pewter charms. And so I got their brother sister. Okay. And I finally was like, okay, if I want to make this happen, I got to do it. And so I contacted them and I was like, can you please work with me and make something and then teach me how to paint it? And it's been 2 years now and it never happened because I think with COVID, we all got super busy, right? Mike, I do not see you on StreamYard, but I see you on my iPhone. So that's really cool. Anyhow, to make a long story short, Maria, That kit is probably going to take another month to get together, but don't worry, I got your coffee charm. Now, let me tell you why I'm here tonight, because I wanted to talk about gemstones. Now, that's something I have not done in such a long time. I didn't let go of the spirituality and the gem energy practices at all. If anything, I was worrying it for myself all the time to stay focused, to stay positive, to stay on track, and trying to remember that every action that I do has to serve myself in its highest good, right? Because there's nothing worse than somebody who's resentful and angry trying to do their job and then do it with a lot of love, right? I don't know if you could say that's even possible to carry so much anxiety and difficulty and then try to be someone else, especially on this kind of job where like now we're on camera. It's like, hello. I mean, part of me wants to say, I did not sign up for this. And the other part of me says, I did, right? I mean, there's so many other things we could have done. We did not have to continue a bead store. And in some ways, I did have to because I love it so much. So then I did sign up to say, I will do everything and anything it will take. So now we find ourselves here 2 years later, crazily, still not open, but we do private appointments. And yeah, it's just been a journey. So I was like, I owe it to myself to get out here and share what why I love it and why I love these gems and what it means to me, right? So that's why I'm here to talk about this bracelet. This bracelet is made out of green gems, and evidently after 25 years I love green gems. I didn't know. You know how I know that now? Because every year I'd come back from Tucson, Michelle would be like, why did you buy more of those beads? We already have them. So I have this peridot fondness. And I think it's because my grandma, she grew up in the plantations on Big Island in Ola. And every summer, my brother and I would go and we would dig olivine in her driveway. She didn't really have a driveway. She lived in the camp. And so it was just bumpy, black road of all volcanic rock. And we would spend the summers digging through there and finding itty bitty pieces of olivine. Now, if you're not familiar with olivine is basically the mother of peridot. So olivine happens in volcanic activity. And I think you can find like green sand beaches on the Big Island. I don't know if anyone has seen that. Let me know. Give a shout out. Um, and so when I see peridot as an adult, I think it takes me back to my childhood, and I just want to get it. I just want to get it like a crazy person, and I'll buy it, even if we have it. You know what the odd thing is about this bracelet? There is not any peridot in it, and let's talk about that. There's no peridot in here because there is more blue greens in these stones than yellow greens. So the blue greens are in here. Does anyone here like green gemstones? So here we go. I am going to do my spiritual reading and awakening that happens with green gemstones. Now, if you're not into that, I would hang up because there's no tutorial tonight. I'm not going to show you how to bead. I'm not going to show you how to make jewelry. What I'm going to do is just give you a little feedback as to how gems have helped me and what they do for me. So 25 years in, why am I still here doing it? I think it has a lot to do with the energy of color and with the idea of putting a bit of nature, putting a bit of life on me. Because man, I love being here. I love living. I'm sure all of you feel similarly. Well, I hope you do. And if you don't, you know, maybe there's something in the meditative aspect of beading or in the creative, empowering aspect of it that I can share with you that could be life changing. It was for me. So I'm going to show you my bracelet. I got the screen ready. Hold on. Let's see. Okay. I think it changed. And that should be a big picture of the bracelet that is in my hands. Mike says that Kara's in a current green phase. No olivine in this one. I love beads. I mean, I can talk about them every day. Just the other day, I was like, Jason, I love beads. And he just laughs because I'm like, let's talk about beads. And Mike says, I like blues and greens in general. When buying beads, it depends on what speaks to me or just about smacks me in the face. Exactly. Beads love, I get smacked in the face all the time. And I'm like, oh my God. So this was an inspiration that I spoke to two friends about, Clarine and Rini, and they both were helping me make some things come true. And so I was able to express what I was looking for, find the beads in the store, and ask them to fill in the spots, find more beads in the store, cut the strands. And I think it took 2 months for this bracelet to come into fruition because I wanted something where all the beads were different. Yeah, I miss being in the store with y'all more than I could ever express. So come for a private appointment, Mike. I miss you. Hi, Val. So this bracelet, I'm going to tell you about the gemstones. I don't have a cursor, so I cannot touch it to point it out. Well, why don't we start with the bead at the top? If y'all can look at the bead at the top, there is a green aventurine round bead with a gold marking on it, right? That marking is a phoenix. And do you all know what phoenixes are about and represent? Phoenixes are associated with like fire. Phoenixes are about transformation and coming out of the fire. And I guess you could think of it as an explosive change, right? Using fire, the images of fire, of purifying, of heat, and transforming yourself, like in that sense, to be a big, beautiful golden bird. And there is like flight involved in the phoenix. So, to fly free. I don't know. I love the phoenix, and we have quite a few beads in the store with the phoenix imagery on it. It's a good reminder. It really, really is to remind just ourselves of how unstoppable we are. Okay, now moving on, let's go to the right of that. That one is a faceted. What was that one? I can't tell by the picture. I actually have to look at my own bracelet. That one is a faceted chrysoprase. So that's a faceted chrysoprase right in there. And so what I like about that bead is chrysoprase is usually the ones we get. I like it from Australia, and it is a milky green color. Chrysoprase is beautiful. It is the most milky of all the greenstones. I think it has a really luscious creaminess to it that makes it look like it kind of is like, when you have coffee and you put milk in it. That's kind of what chrysoprase reminds me of. If you took something and you put a little bit of milk in it, and it makes it a little bit cloudy. Sometimes there is clear chrysoprase, and it can make it a little bit softer visually. And chrysoprase is a very heart opening stone. So if you are thinking about opening up your heart chakra, then that would be a very good stone to wear. I think so many of us, you get hurt and you shut down, and then you're afraid to reopen again because part of you like, I already learned my lesson. I don't need to do that again. But we do. We kind of do. That's what we're here for, right? It is to experience love and to experience that closeness that we can have, and then to make it happen in any way possible. And I think a good example is like, I've had people tell me, you can't make friends via Facebook. And I'm like, of course you can. Don't you remember pen pals? That totally was not face to face. This is actually better because you can get like immediate like feedback and comments. Hi, Momo-chan. So we started with the phoenix at the top, and then with chrysoprase to the right. Then there's that nice faceted quartz next to there. That is I like a root beer quartz. Quartz, I love quartz. I love the transparency of the quartz family. In the quartz family, then you have like citrine, amethyst, rose quartz. The quartzes are silica based, and they tend to be more transparent. Like when they are not as transparent, it's kind of cool because then you can have like things like hematite and quartz. You can have like I have amethyst in quartz and all of like the rutilated quartzes, right? All the clear things that you have the inclusions in. Oh, garden quartz. I got to do something. I got a bunch of garden quartz way before COVID, and it was for feng shui, and it has the blue browns and the greens in there. Lovely, lovely, lovely. Okay, let's come down from that quartz, and that is the kyanite. And a lot of times from photos, you're just like, what the heck am I looking at? You can tell that it's kyanite because kyanite, as a gemstone, when you look at it, it has like these really fine striations through it. It's almost like you are looking at like cotton candy. So when you see a stone that has that cotton candy, like really fine, super fine ribbons of like that sugary strands in there, most likely you're looking at kyanite or kunzite. But this one is kyanite. Kyanite comes in most of the time. You've probably seen it in blue, sort of like an indigo blue, navy blue. Good kyanite is transparent. You ever seen good kyanite? Oh my god! I could talk about stones all night. Thanks for hopping in with me. So it comes in like orange, blue. This one's green, and I think it is so pretty. So with the green kyanite, kyanite is usually a stone for harmony. It's a stone for. Oh, let me move this away. It's a stone for peace, harmonious communication, and it's really good for the throat chakra. So I would recommend if you have difficulty speaking your truth, if you feel like it takes a lot of anger to spur you on to be truthful, but that's so tiring and you're like, let me try something different. Like you're just so scared to get it out. And you don't want to go the angry route to get it out. You could try wearing a little bit of kyanite and make sure that it's close to your throat, because that's the place that if you feel choked up when you're trying to communicate, that makes a difference. Yeah. It really is good for harmony, bringing you back into sync. Speak your truth. Speak your truth with people you love rather than speaking it with anger. Isn't that interesting? Anybody else out there knows what I mean? Like how it takes a lot that push of anger to get that truth out. And then you're like, why? Why was that the catalyst when you really love that person? All right. The next stone after that kyanite is another chrysoprase. I remember I was just telling you that's the creaminess of it. So if you're just joining in, you're like, what stone is she talking about? It's the stone on the bracelet, on the full bracelet. It's on the right-hand side, and it's bigger. So it's like this kind of chunk, but the one in the photo is slightly different. This is my bracelet, and again, it has that milky translucency to it. Now, if anybody out there likes, hi Trace, if that's my friend since I was 5 years old. She's here. Hi, Anne. Hi, Nancy. Mike, you're like, yes, unfortunately, that anger, that spur of anger to get that truth out, right? And so we're going to talk about the chrysoprase again, which is the heart-opening gentle stone. Has anyone here worn chrysoprase before and felt that really like loving energy, not just from the stone, but from yourself? Like it's easier to radiate. It's easier to radiate when you feel good, right? So I'm going to wait and see if anybody has had that same kind of feeling. Now, chrysoprase, it's a chalcedony, and chalcedonies they tend to be milky, like blue chalcedony. That's my jam. Like, if you show me blue chalcedony, I will dig through it like a little animal looking for the violet shades, because that's the hardest to find. Violet shades of blue chalcedony. I'm so particular. Like when I buy for the store, I rarely just buy plain old blue. Well, I will if it's on the B quality, A. But once you're getting to like the triple A, quadruple A, I'm like all about getting it to have that violet tinge. Waffles is like she wants to be a part of this. I'm sorry, Waffles. Mama's busy. Okay. So then underneath it, there's going to be a dark green stone. So if you look at the 4 dark green stones in the photo and you're attracted to that, well, there could be a reason. The dark green stones, waffles, okay, are jade, but not the one on the left. The faceted one on the left is a Vesuvianite, which I'll talk about. The 2 dark green round ones on the bottom, that is Canadian jade. Waffles, do you want to say hi to Auntie? Come. You guys, this is my dog, Waffles, and she is so cute. Come, boo. Oh. Okay, come. So anyhow, the jade is Canadian jade. So it comes from like northern Canada. And jade is considered to be a very lucky stone. And so if you want to have a stone for good luck and like, something like, hey, hi. Okay, this way. Hi. And so if you want a good stone, okay. She's probably like, okay, Mom, I'm done. A stone that you can wear to Las Vegas or you want to give to a friend. Jade has been around for, oh my God, thousands of years. And it started in more in like the Chinese culture. I just kicked something. And I am not wearing my bracelet, so I am not lucky right now. And there's 2 kinds of stones that falls under jade. There's nephrite and jadeite. Okay, and nephrite and jadeite are 2 like different stones, but they both fall under jade. And I don't have any samples right now of both of them. And Jason actually he can speak more about it than I can. So I'll ask him if he'll come in and do a little talk about jade for us. But what I can tell you about jade is it was used for more practical matters, right? More than adornment. It sort of like worked its way from being like bowls, oh my gosh, knives, stoneware, and then it moved into being a precious like adornment. So there is a lot of qualities that people think about, like the physical healing and wearing jade and the protection. So I mean, you can see a lot of people with that bangle on and it gets tight as they get older and they will not take it off unless they have like an accident and they have surgery and all of a sudden you have to take it off. But I was going to show you how to take a jade bracelet off and on. If you have any kind of bangle and it's too tight, you take a plastic bag. You know, the kind that you got to pay 10 cents for now, or you shouldn't even be using? That kind of plastic bag. You put it on your wrist and then you slide. This is not a bracelet, but then you slide your bracelet over and it'll slide on the plastic bag. So if you ever had put a bracelet on and then you're like maybe it's your friends and you're like, oh, Jesus, I got to get it off. Get a plastic bag, put it on your hand and slide it off. You can use like soap and water as well, but if that's not accessible, then you may want to use the plastic bag trick. It's pretty awesome. So then going around the bracelet, after the dark green rounds, there's one stone I really, really want you to see because it is probably not something you get to see often. It is called chrome diopside in quartz. I got this in Japan. It's really hard to find any kind of stone that's growing in quartz. They usually just, the stones are out there. They mine them, they dig them out, they crack them. And chrome diopside, it's the color for chrome diopside. It is amazing. It's like a dark, beautiful, and not dirty green. It is bright. And so you need chromium to make this green. And I was going to tell you something about chromium. I was like, what the heck is chromium? So I had to look it up. So chromium is in our body. And here was a Google question. So I was interested. What is chromium used for in the body? And I wrote it down. Chromium is important in the breakdown of fats and carbohydrates. It aids in insulin action and glucose breakdown. Now, here's what's really strange. I have had a thing for chromium ever since we discovered it about like 15 years ago. We didn't discover it. It's not like Jason and I were mining and we discovered it. It was like at a bead show. And my friend who's a Hong Kong supplier was like, have you ever had chromium beads, like chrome diopside beads? And I was like, mm-mm. And then he showed it to us and we're like, oh, we've never seen anything that intense green before. So exciting. So Jason, big fan of chrome diopside. I am diabetic. So reading this right now that it aids in insulin action and glucose breakdown, that's pretty cool. Because like when you really like something and you start to go, is my body calling for it? Isn't that amazing? Kara, that is so cool. You have a bangle older than your daughter. Hi, Amanda. We are talking about this green bracelet. And I'm going over all the different stones to talk about like the energies that I feel from the stones and things that I can share. Amanda has a daughter too. Amanda, all of my jewelry is older than Amanda's daughter. Amanda's daughter, I think, did she just finish kindergarten? Holy smokes. Okay, so we're going to come around the corner, and then there's a faceted yellow bead at the bottom. Shh, that's a lemon quartz. So to the right of the lemon quartz in the photo, that is the chrome diopside in quartz. That's a rare bead. I don't know if you can find it anywhere. I mean, go for it. Google it. I can't find it. I would love more. I was in Kobe, Japan, I think, when I got that maybe 4 years ago. I could only get one bracelet. So I cut that bracelet for this particular kit. Oh, this is a kit. That's why I wanted to talk about it too. So I put it in this kit. I was like, you got to use that bead. That is gorgeous. So then moving around, I wanted you guys to see the lemon quartz in there. And I'm so glad Clarine picked it because lemon quartz is one of my favorite beads. It is a quartz that's yellow and it is so, I would say sunshiny and happy. I love yellow stones. Love it. Mike is asking, what's the stone again? I think you're talking about the chrome diopside. I think, right? The chrome diopside in the quartz. And Mike, I am going to give you, I'm going to give you a link. Let me see if I can do that. And then this link has all the stone names in it, in this bracelet. It doesn't have me to tell you about the stones. So you might have to come back and watch this if anybody has questions. But I thought it'd be cool, right? To talk about every stone on this bracelet. So coming around the corner from the yellow quartz at the very bottom, to the left of that is a green kyanite. And if you were like, why? How can I tell that's green kyanite? Again, look for the floss-like threads in it that look kind of like sponge sugar. And that will usually, if not always, tell you that's a kyanite, unless it's a high-grade kyanite. And then it's transparent and so beautiful. And in that case, it won't have that flossy look in there. Okay. Oh, my lips are so dry. I've been on the computer for 3 days, like a crazy person. Now, to the left of that kyanite at the very bottom, so we can call that 6 o'clock. It's the big round. To the left of that, there's a creamy kind of like rondelle shape, like a donut shape. That is, look at my bracelet. Ooh, that's opal. That's the Peruvian opal. You're like, what's Peruvian opal? Peruvian opal is opal from Peru. Now, opal, you need water to, sounds like a plant. You need water to grow opals. So opals grow in areas. think about like the earth is like a piece of cake. And you pour water on it. And then the water seeps through the cake, right? And then as it goes through the cake, it's going to bring down all the cake sediment and all the cake minerals and make pools of it. And then, I mean, it's more than that, but I just kind of like to give you an idea of the pooling effect of the minerals. And then you can kind of get different colors of opal. Oh, so nice. If you're an October baby, opals might really appeal to you because opals are, I like the mystery of opal. I love that they look so beautiful when you put them back in water. Makes sense, right? They're from water. They're like, put us back in water. I'm all dried out. Some opals. I love Ethiopian opal. Oh my God. If you guys ever come to the store, come ask me about it. We have these teeny tiny chips that have so much fire in them. I mean, for $6 for these little chips that have fire. I put one on my earring, and people from like 10 feet away would come towards me and be like, "What's that glittering in your ear?" And the thing is only like this small. It's like crazy, like so small. Yeah, opals are fun. So opals also have that soft energy, very gentle. I guess you could think of opal energy kind of like a very soft spoken, kind yin energy. So maybe like an older lady who is wants to help you, hold your hand when you cross the street, and you want to hug them. Like that's kind of to me what the opal energy is like. Okay, so then coming next to that again is another Canadian green jade. After that is another chrysoprase. Can never have enough of that heart opening chakra energy. And then above that is the prize winning Vesuvianite. Okay. So Vesuvianite gets its name because it was found near Mount Vesuvius, which is kind of interesting, right? I've never been there. Um, and Vesuvianite is, I'm trying to think how to explain like what it is. Well, Vesuvianite gets that green color from chromium. So the Vesuvianite right now is the 9 o'clock stone. So it's the dark faceted one at the 9 o'clock. Oh, you guys! I just realized something. I can use my cursor and to touch all the beads. Hello. Then you could have seen what I was talking about this whole time. Do you see my cursor moving? Or maybe it's just me. Let me look on Facebook. Well, I don't know. The screen's so tiny. Can you let me know if you see my cursor moving? Because I'm now talking about Vesuvianite, and after that is Prenite. Oh my God, Mike. This is like a great day. This is like an A+ day. It must be my lucky day. I'm putting my bracelet back on because to find out that I can actually use my cursor on a live to show you guys stuff is pretty killer. I'm just so pleased right now. Yay! Is anyone else clapping of my 10 friends who's hanging out with me? Let's. So Vesuvianite, if you've never tried Vesuvianite and you've been beading with me for like 10, 15 years, you should get a piece for one reason alone. You can't get it anymore. It's so hard to find. So hard to find. Um, like I can't even find it anymore. It's only what I have. So another green stone, good for alignment. It's good for like really thinking about where you want to go. Because that green energy, if you think about the color green, green is all about growth, pathways in life. Where are you going to go? You don't know? Try wear green. Above that is Prenite. Now, Prenite, I love Prenite. Prenite is a stone to me that's like a teddy bear. It's got a very soft, soothing, calming energy, and it's soft. It's so soft. Not the stone itself being soft, but the energy is soft. It's not like the hard oranges and reds of sapphire. It's not like that solid grounding black in tourmaline or spinel. You it's not even like that clarifying feeling with smoky quartz. I'm just giving you some different feelings that I get. It is maybe it's a little like moonstone where it kind of has that inner deep quality of going inwards, but mostly it reminds me of like teddy bear energy, like what you want to grab onto, to feel comforted, maybe to feel accepted, and like you can trust yourself. Does anybody else like talk to me? I don't know. Is this interesting? Is this not? The chrome diopside is here, Mike, next to the yellow quartz. It's this one. So you can see it's got the clear parts of the quartz where the chrome diopside is growing in it. Woohoo! Right there. Well, we're almost done, so I'll just keep going. So even this is for me. Again, I need to be self-serving. I need to think. I need to spark my own awareness and wonder, what I'm doing here on this planet with all these beads. So after the pre-night, it is 1 second. I think that one is, I cannot tell by the picture. Let me look at my bracelet. I think that's the jade again. Pre-night. Chotomate. Vesuvianite. Oh, mine is strung differently. That's Canadian jade. And then now let's go up to the citrine, which is the third yellow stone in this. So the citrine. The citrine is called the merchant stone. And everybody who's ever had a bead, not a bead, if you ever had a bead store, if you've ever had a store and you have like the entrepreneurial spirit, then this merchant stone could be something that you'd want. Get them a nugget for a friend who's opening a business. You're going to take them that manekineko with the paw, right? You're like, bring in the good luck. And a piece of citrine would be quite helpful. The citrine, oh God, I love citrine. One, it's yellow and it's confidence building. It is in reinforcing for your stomach area. That's your yellow area, your chakra. And that's where we store our confidence. Think about like when you're about to stand in front of a crowd of people, when you got to give a speech and you're like, oh, I don't feel comfortable, and you might put your hand in front of your belly, in front of your hara, in front of your area of power to protect it. And so the yellow gemstones do it for me. They really reinforce that feeling. I mean, sometimes, gosh, I feel like I'm gonna faint when I speak in front of a crowd. Like I don't understand how I'm so scared of it. And yet when people ask me, can you do a presentation on something or talk about small business or something? I'm always like, okay. And the day of, I feel like I'm going to faint all morning. And then obviously I did not die because I'm still here, right? After all those experiences. So maybe wearing the citrine is connecting to that root of who you are and that confidence. So citrine, it's a power builder. It's like a vitamin C of stones. And then after the citrine, it is the jade again, and the opal again. Let me see if that rondelle is something I haven't talked about. I think that one, did I talk about all the stones? I think I did. Because I had 2 Canadian jade rondelles, and then I had the pre-night faceted round, lemon quartz. Okay. So this is the bracelet on my wrist. And then Mike had a question. I'll answer it before we wrap up. What is that light green on the other side? The light green on the other side, this side here is the kyanite. The light green on the other side. This side is the chrysoprase. This is the chrysoprase. It's the kyanite, the quartz, the chrysoprase, the green aventurine, the opal. So I think that is it. You're welcome to download this picture, screenshot it, or go to the website so you can see it up close. I think you can hit the expand button and you can see it. You can see it up there. And then there's a listing of all the stones. If you want to write it down, screenshot it, cut and paste it for your own future reference if you want to make it again. The 6 o'clock stone That's the kyanite. So if you look closer later, you can also see it has like that candy, like that sponge, sugary, cotton candy look inside of it. All right. I think that might be it. It is time for me to get back to work. I just put a new video up on YouTube on how to make the mobile. So please go check it out and see if you want to make a mobile. Our friend Mary designed this. She's like such an she was in college as an engineer. Mary is like my mom's age, so it must be her late 70s now. She was such an instrumental part of the Bead Gallery and helping us organize, come up with systems of organization. Do you know that when we first opened, we didn't have anything filed away? We just threw everything in boxes and memorized what box it went into. So under the tables, there was these big plastic bins under every table we had, and it was just randomly thrown in there. I look back and I go, you could tell we were young because we still had a lot of brain cells, that were working. If I did that now, oh my God, I can't even remember where I put my lunch down or my phone. Goodness, goodness, goodness. Oh my gosh, Betty, how are you? So, everyone, I made a new friend on YouTube. Her name is Betty, and she is Elizabeth. Now, tell me, I looked at your name and I was like, do you pronounce it do good? Like, you do good? Because if that's your last name, that was like such a like champion last name, do good. And then, of course, I might be totally not saying it right because you're from Scotland. So I wish you could tell me if I'm saying it right. Just let me know. Is it do good? And Miss Elizabeth Betty, that the stone at the top is a green aventurine with a phoenix on it. So that phoenix, and if you just rewind back to the start, I talked about that as the very start of this bracelet being the sign for transformation. Ah, warm, soft hugs. Do you watch Big Bang? Do you know that song? Isn't it soft kitty, warm kitty, little ball of fur, happy kitty, something kitty, purr, purr, purr. Oh my gosh, I love Big Bang Theory. Marie, if that's what you're referencing with your warm soft hugs, then shock for you. Thanks, you guys. Really, I am going to get back to work. There's always something to do as a small business owner. There is never enough time in the day. There's always something that I want to do. There's always one more person that I think about, and I'm like, oh, if I could just, reach out and show them this. Good night, Marty. Good night, Chaishi. Good night, everybody. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for helping me think about what I'm doing with my life and my color therapy and what makes me feel good. All right. Miss Betty, I'll wait to hear if my Scottish accent pronounced your last name correctly or not. Good night. Aloha.